Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are here at the newest quick service restaurant here at the American Adventure Pavilion in Epcot. We are here at the Regal Eagle Smokehouse, the newest quick service restaurant. Barbecue. Enough said. I am super excited. I have high hopes for this. I am mad hyped. Very, very excited. The last barbecue place at a theme park we reviewed was the Monsters Cafe at Universal. You can see that review up here in the corner. I'm gonna leave a link to that. It wasn't the best, so I have high hopes for this one. Let's see if Disney can pull through with their newest barbecue restaurant that is quick service. I'm super excited. Let's head on inside. Alright, we just sat down outside. I got the American Platter, which is basically a sampler. You can get 3 different meats, a side, and it comes with toast. I opted to also get some baked beans as well, just to try out another side, just to get a bit of a spread of some of the stuff that they have here at the restaurant. And they have a bunch of different sauces as well that I'm going to be trying out. And of course a drink. No dessert, unfortunately, today. No dessert. This platter was already kind of expensive enough as it is. But I'm super excited to try this. One thing I will say, the benches outside, not very fat people friendly. I will say the seat part, very narrow, so my booty's hanging off just a little bit. But unfortunately, we are, oh man, my thing has a hole in it. Oh, my sauce has a hole in it. That's unfortunate. Sorry, we'll just leave that there. We'll clean that up a little bit later. We're gonna try out some of the food here. Super excited. I think just to get the sauces out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and cut up this sausage and try that just so we can use that with some of the dipping sauces. I'm gonna try the sausage by itself first. It's alright. It's got some flavor to it. Nothing super spectacular by itself, but let's try some of the sauces. The first sauce that we have, I took a picture of it, is a savory spice sauce, and that's the one that's leaking right now. I'm gonna go ahead and dunkaroo that in there. Got some of the sauce on that. Yeah, definitely not my favorite. Not a fan of that one. It is spicy, but just don't really care too much for the taste of that. Next up we have smokehouse sauce. It is a classic smokehouse sauce. Take a dab in that one. This one, to me, looks like classic barbecue sauce. Classic barbecue sauce. Next up, we have some sweet mustard sauce. Sweet mustard sauce. Get a dunkaroo of that one. It's almost like honey mustard. It's almost like honey mustard. That's not bad. And then our last sauce that we have is the vinegar-based sauce. It's also, this sauce is the most runny. It's not as thick. Not really super saucy, but Got some of that on there. It's dripping off. Very vinegary. I will say that, very vinegary. So yeah, of all the sauces, I have to say, I think it's a mix between the regular barbecue sauce and the sweet mustard sauce. Those are both actually really, really good. Okay, so enough of the sausage. I'm gonna try some of the garlic bread, the Texas toast. Gonna get a inward piece of that. Oh my god, that's delicious. That is really good. Really good Texas toast. I'm a sucker for Texas toast, and this Texas toast is actually really, really good. One thing I am super excited for is this brisket. The cashier rated the brisket very highly, so I'm excited to try that. She said it was very juicy, tender, and flavorful. If I can just get it onto my fork. Some brisket. Oh yeah. That brisket is good. And it looks like I have more brisket than anything on this plate, which is not bad. Let's move some of that brisket aside and get some of these ribs. I will say right off the bat, the ribs look kind of dry. If I can just find a way to crack this thing open. Now, in my opinion, a good rib is a rib that can be enjoyed without sauce. If the rib tastes good without sauce, then it's a good rib. So we'll see. It's not terrible. It's a little bit tougher than I thought it was going to be. Not quite as tender and fall off the bone as you expect some ribs to be. Kind of disappointing, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I feel like the dry rub could use a little bit more seasoning to it, a little bit more kick. But I feel like if you were to debone the rib and dip it in the sauce, it'd be perfectly fine and be really, really good. So now, for the side items, I'm gonna try some of the mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. That is very cheesy, very delicious, and I can tell already it's very fattening. Holy crap. Very creamy. Very, very cheesy. You can tell it's heavy. That's a very heavy mac and cheese. But God, it is good. That is some really good mac and cheese. Holy crap. I would come to this restaurant just for the mac and cheese, actually. Wow. That's actually really good. Okay, now last but not least are the beans. Now, these barbecue beans come with burnt ends, I think it was. And back in the day, I used to really enjoy the baked beans that they had on Disney property, specifically at Hoop-Dee-Doo Review. They were really good. Then they changed the recipe. Someone at Disney changed the recipe of the baked beans, and I do not like the baked beans anymore. So we'll see if these are different. And a nice helping of baked beans over here. Looks like got some meat in there. I can dig it. I can dig it. Not quite as good as the old recipe used to be, but still. Pretty fantastic. Pretty fantastic, not gonna lie. Alright, so that goes for everything on my plate. I'm gonna go ahead and eat everything, and I will let you know my thoughts on the entire meal at the very end. See you in a bit. Alright guys, so we just finished our meal here at the Regal Eagle Smokehouse. I'm gonna show you a picture of the end results right here. So you guys can see that I finished pretty much everything except the beans. After having a couple more bites of the beans, I quickly realized that these are in fact the beans that I do not like. These are the same recipe that they use across the entire resort, and I just do not like those beans. The only difference that I can see here is the addition of some of the burnt ends, which doesn't unfortunately add any additional good flavor, in my opinion, to these beans. But honestly, in my opinion, the best thing on the plates was the brisket. The brisket was really good. I was really looking forward to the ribs. I love the ribs, but I'm always a sucker for brisket, and they delivered on the brisket today. This was actually really, really good. The ribs weren't terrible. They were just a little bit more dry and not as tender as I would like them to be, but pulling them apart and dipping them in the sauces that they give you is what really adds the flavor to those ribs. So it's still not terrible. I would definitely have the ribs again. It's just not my first option. I would definitely go for the brisket. The sausage was okay, but again, the sausage really needs the sauce in order to be really, really good. By itself, it doesn't have too much flavor to it, unfortunately, and it's not the greatest. I probably wouldn't get the sausage again. There are several other options on the menu that we can get that we are definitely going to try in the future. Unfortunately, because I am a broke YouTuber, I had to go for the entree that gave me the most bang for my buck and had the most options. I was able to sample 3 meats, a side, the garlic bread, and I opted for the beans, which were extra. That $5 ended up actually going wasted because I didn't end up finishing the beans, sadly. But overall, I would gladly eat here again. And it's probably for the best that this restaurant is on the opposite side, on the complete opposite end of Epcot. So if I'm walking back to my car, I gotta walk across World Showcase Lagoon back to Epcot, or back to the parking lot and everything. And it's probably for the best that you know, it's on the opposite side because it's very filling, very full. The mac and cheese, absolutely fantastic. I absolutely adored the mac and cheese. I loved it. I love the mac and cheese. I would come back over here just for the mac and cheese. Like I said earlier, mac and cheese was absolutely fantastic. Compared to Monsters Cafe over at Universal Studios, Disney really knocked it out of the park with this barbecue restaurant. Now granted, this is just day one. This restaurant just opened today, and I just so happened to be at Disney today when it opened. I wasn't planning on coming to Epcot, but when I was at Hollywood Studios, I realized that this restaurant was open today, and I had to come here and try and put out a review for you guys. Here at Theme Park Express, I know that you guys have a lot of options when it comes to food reviews for brand new restaurants, because I know today there were a lot, and I mean a lot, of YouTubers and vloggers out here trying to get their reviews, trying to get the food, and you're gonna see a bunch of other reviews out there for this restaurant, and I really thank you guys for choosing this video. And if you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please, it really helps, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new, ring that bell, get notified whenever I upload a new video like this in the future. I hope you are all having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, and evening, and I will see you guys in the next video.